Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dashcoin Research Podcast. I'm your host, Nicholas Wenzel, and today I have Miles with me. Miles is the founder of Bump Apps and a Believe founder of an OG one. Miles, it's great to have you.
Thank you, Nick. Good to be on here.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet you back at Solana Accelerate. We got to meet up at the Dupe Side event. That was a great time. There was you, me, and the Fitcoin guys, and Bobby. It's really helpful.
Cora as well. It's great.
Yeah, that's one of the special things I've been seeing lately is how much the founders are sticking together in the Believe ecosystem, and that's been really sweet to see.
Yeah, for
sure.
So
I want to get into it and ask about your background. So, how did you get into building apps and specifically Bump Apps?
Sure. I mean, if you want to know how I started building apps, that story goes way back to days like Flappy Bird being in the App Store. I think I was like 13, 14 or so. I saw Flappy Bird out there. I actually remember also seeing Ben Pasternak's interview with CBS when I was really young. He was 15 or so building apps. It's I could do this too. But I kind of kicked it off, learned to code, built and shipped about 8 pretty simple mobile apps throughout high school, to the App Store, middle school and high school. They were all very basic games and some utility apps I launched, but really found a love for product design and building products through that. That kind of evolved into going more into the design side and designing websites for different music artists like A$AP Rocky, Juice WRLD, and a bunch of others in high school. And that really got me hooked on seeing user analytics. When people come in and be oh my God, there's 1 million people on the website. I just made that. It's crazy. And that kind of got me hooked. And then I kind of dove deeper into the technical side of it and saw GPT-2 release when I was in college. And I was wow, you could really build something special with this. And that evolved into building Hyperwrite, which is a very general AI writing tool and an AI assistant, which is still live today. But basically raised venture funding for that, dropped out of college, second year there, and worked on that for 2 years. And after working on that, I kind of went back to my roots of building apps and built Super Happy, an AI screen time coach, which locks your apps like Instagram, TikTok or Twitter, whatever you're addicted to, probably Twitter for the audience here, or X, you want to call it. And you have to talk to an AI every time you unlock it. So you have to be hey, I want to send a DM, and then it'll open up X for a minute so you can send a DM, and it'll lock it back up. That way you don't find yourself doom scrolling all day and distracted. Yeah, so I worked on that for about a year, took it, I think, as far as it needed to go with a full-time attention. And now started working on Fistbump with Alex Lieberman. Basically, Alex came to me and he's hey, I have this group chat with a lot of my friends to keep me accountable. He has one for screen time, one for working out, one for sleep. And they basically send little updates on that in the group chat, how they're doing on each of them. And what they're doing with that is they're holding each other accountable. So if they're not working out for a day, they text, hey, what's up? Why are you not working out? Maybe you call it bullying, maybe you call it friendly peer pressure, whatever you want to call it. Basically, he's hey, how can we make this accessible for anyone to do? And that's where Fistbump was born. Basically combined BeReal and a classic habit tracking app to make the best habit tracking app for accountability. You snap a picture with the front and back camera when you're at the gym to prove you were there or whatever your habit is. And you build a streak for every time you go. And if you don't go, your friends nudge you, which is just bullying, peer pressure, whatever you want to call it in the good way. So that's kind of transformed more into me thinking about, okay, I'm building all these apps. How can I kind of formalize this process? I think that building consumer is all about experimentation, especially consumer social. No one knows for sure. You're basically okay, let me do everything in my power to improve the odds of this succeeding. They will never be 100% because there's some factors out of my control. It's just timing. COVID could hit, for example. I was working on one app, social app a while ago. COVID hit, instantly stopped. I was won't work with COVID. So there's many things out of your control. So basically I'm formalizing Bump Apps to run all these experiments. Fistbump is the first experiment of Bump Apps. We partnered with Alex as a co-founder to do that on Fistbump. And we're running this experiment right now. We're also building systems to help us test this really fast, which I'll get more into later, but it's currently, we're calling Bump Rewards. That will help us bring users to all these apps that we build. And yeah, our goal really is just to run these experiments as fast as we can to see what app we could build that helps the most people and then figure out what bet to go all in on.
I like it. Yeah, tell me more about Bump Apps. So it's not just Fistbump. I was under the impression that you were just building Fistbump, but it sounds like maybe it's more of a development group or something that you're focused on doing multiple things with.
Yeah, so Bump Apps, basically, the only app right now we have is Fistbump, to be clear. And in terms of iOS apps, we are all in on Fistbump right now. Our goal is to really just run experiments as fast as possible. I think we see Fistbump as an experiment. We want to get a bunch of users on it, see the user behavior, iterate on it, and then go through that loop as many times as possible, as fast as we can. And then we're also going to build systems to make that loop run faster. Loop might lead us down a path where it looks like an app that's slightly different than Fistbump or another one completely. But the idea is Bump Apps is just like a system that runs experiments on apps really, really fast.
That's pretty sweet because, like you said, experimentation is kind of the key here to building social apps or to building a lot of different apps. You need to run experiments quickly and to be able to get feedback. It sounds like you're trying to use Bump rewards to close that feedback loop so you can iterate faster. I think now is a good time to talk about Bump rewards if you want to give us more of an overview of what that looks like.
Let's do it. So basically, there's like a lot of things that are like happening right now that creates this like great why now moment for Bump rewards. One being AI UGC. AI UGC is like maybe, I want to say 6 months away from getting to the point where no one could tell. Right now, we're at the point where some people could tell. And that some, I'd say, is probably under 30% of people could tell. Most people think it's real. So that's one thing. Another thing is kind of this like concept called clipping that's getting very, very popular. So it started off with like streamers, for example, like Kasana and a bunch of others who basically set up these Discord groups. They encourage people to clip their stream. They just take like a couple second clip to a 1 minute clip of the stream and they post it to TikTok, Instagram, etc. And then they get paid for how many views they get. This has become like a really, really affordable way to get high CPM, cost per 1,000 views, to promote any sort of content, app, tool, anything. And I kind of see Bump Rewards taking these two things and merging them together. So basically, we're building our own in-house content studio. We're building all the tools you need so you could create AI UGC that promotes only our app Fistbump for now. But you can basically promote Fistbump with like a couple of clicks. You could get like a hook of like a person making some facial reaction to the camera, put text over it that's generated by AI, and then we smack a demo of the app on the back of it. That's also kind of built in-house with AI. So tons of AI, but we're building that internally. So the goal with that is like make it really, really easy for people to get content to post. And then the second part is we guide you through the process of building an account and posting it. So then you could be posting twice a day and then rewarding you for how many views you're getting. So there's a lot of little hacks here and there to like optimize how many views you get, like scrolling on the For You page a couple minutes before you post and after, to properly warming up your account. We're making guides for all that to see that people will succeed. But we're really just creating like an awesome side hustle for a lot of people to make money or earn Bump on the side.
That's super cool. So if I was an app creator, do you think in the future I'd be able to like put my app on there too and then have people promote it like through your app? Or is this going to be specifically just to promote the Fistbump app?
Right now it's only for Fistbump. Don't want to say anything about other apps just yet.
For sure. Can you tell us the story of like you launching your token on Believe? Where did that idea start and what was the first day of launch like for you?
Sure, yeah. So I saw Ben launch Clout and I was like, this looks pretty cool. Like I followed along, got the app. Threw like a few $100 in to kind of have some fun with it and kind of invest in some people I believed in. And then I saw him iterate on it to Believe. I was like, oh, wow, this really makes sense now. I think that like tying a token to your personal brand, if you want to say your personal reputation, was like a bit intense. And like, I think from like a trencher, like someone who's buying the token's perspective, like hyper risky. Because it's like so heavily tied to a person. But tying it, I want to use the word tied loosely, but basically assigning the token to the attention of a startup, I think makes an incredible amount of sense because like people want to see these things in the world. And this gives away a chance for them to like show their belief in it. And how I kind of like got into launching it is like I saw a couple of friends, startups launch on it, like Creator Gen, Band, and like we'll have now friends like Saba from Aura and Reed from Fitcoin and Bobby from Dupe. I mean, I've just seen them all launch, and I was like, this really makes a lot of sense for the founders. It's just like one, you get funding to build this product that people want and are showing that they want. So you're basically like the best way to wheel something into the world. Two, you get this awesome community that's ready to give feedback on your product, champion your product, and like also push you to build the best version of your product. So it really is a no-brainer for me.
I love that community aspect of it. It's one of my favorite things about having a token is that you have people who give you feedback and like really want you to see you succeed. So it aligns the incentives between like a huge base of users who like will give you feedback, and if you iterate on it quick enough, it can really like supercharge your product in a way that you wouldn't have had that feedback before. Because I think a lot of startups die in apathy, where just no one cares and no one knows about it. But this is a way to bootstrap like hundreds of people giving you feedback on your product, and it's like then the founder can, separate the good feedback from the bad. And there's a lot of good advice that people have. Like I felt the same with my product, is that it started out terrible and like I didn't know what I was doing, but now I think it's something I'm proud to say like I'm working on, and that's a lot thanks to people messaging me all the time telling me what to improve on.
Yeah, the community really is awesome. It's just like I think that people really undervalue that aspect of belief. It's just, I think the community is one of the most valuable parts of creating. Like, they just say that having that tight feedback loop is like how many startups would like go through like months of work to develop that, and develop a community like the belief teams have. It's insane.
Yeah. I think that's something people really underestimate, is how important that is. It's fantastic. How has your experience with the Belief team been? Have you had much interaction with them?
Yeah, I mean, they're very available. Like whenever I have a question, I just kind of shoot it in the Slack, and I get either responses from people on the Belief team, Belief token founders, immediately. For example, I had a question the other day about some legal risk with Bump Reward, and instantly I had like Bobby from Dube explaining it to me in paragraphs, like his thought process here, kind of best advice. Another example. Just like when I first like went to launch, I sent a message like, hit the Slack like, hey, I'm launching. Instantly get a text like from Ben. He's like, all right, jump on the Zoom, let's talk right before you launch. It's like get you through this. The team is super supportive of all the tokens.
That's wonderful. That's great. Yeah, the Belief team is pretty active on the Slack, and as well the other Belief founders. It's just crazy how much support I feel like we're giving each other. And it's been fantastic. Are there any exciting features that you're excited to ship in the near future?
Yeah, so for Fistbump specifically, one feature I think will be really awesome for K-Factor. Just for like those of you not in the app world, K-Factor basically means if, let's say, if every person invited 2 people, every person download your app, invites 2 other people to your app, that would mean you have a K-Factor of 2. So basically, if you hit a K-Factor over 1, you go viral. So this one thing I'm building, I think it will be really good for K-Factor, is after you capture your habit with that front back photo, we're going to prompt you to share it to your Instagram story, X, or any social media, which kind of like hacks into like all our users' existing networks to help bring them onto Fistbump. And the reason I think they're going to share it, just like you're capturing the best parts of yourself with Fistbump. You're capturing the habits you want to build. And we're trying to do it in a very fun and exciting way. Right now, we're just sharing the feature we're building, just shares a photo. But once we get people that have like longer streaks inside of Fistbump, we could generate videos, like quick like montage, like every second being a different photo of you at the gym or whatever your habit is. And really kind of create like a celebratory post for you to like celebrate a 30-day streak of going to the gym. It gets me very excited every time we could create with what people are capturing and the flywheel that will create with getting users onto the app.
I love that idea. I love the video content idea, because that's always so exciting to see, and especially to share like a photo of me being at the gym every day, or like the progress, or like maybe I'm into a hobby that I'm getting better at. That's a great way to share it. And like you're right, people love to share the best versions of themselves, and that's kind of what Bump is focused on. That's cool. I've also never heard the term K-Factor before, so I'm learning a lot here.
So yeah, it's the video content. It's also like I think this is a great example of like how we like kind of iterate testing. And I think it'd be cool to kind of bring you guys into this process. Is like what we're doing now is right now we're early, and I think the only person that has like over 30 posts on Fistbump is me. So what we're actually doing is using AI to generate pictures of people, like front and back photos, like the selfie and what's in front of them, of people completing habits, stitching those together to make a video. And we're using that in Bump Rewards as like the body part of the video. And if we see more of those videos going viral when they're posted, they'll give us great signal to invest more into that feature and building it faster, because we'll really see there's a demand for this content.
That's clever. That's a very clever way to like test that before you put a lot of resources into building it. And speaking of resources, how big is the team? Is it you and the co-founder?
Sure. So Bump Apps, I'm a solo founder on, but for Fistbump, I am a co-founders with Alex Lieberman, the co-founder of Morning Brew. And then we also have had some engineering help from 2 people on Fistbump.
Nice.
Basically. And the way I kind of look at it is like, Whenever it makes sense to partner with like someone that has either like a large audience or brings some unique skill set to the table for a project, Bump Apps will partner with them, just
Nice.
like we have with Alex.
Can you tell me more about where the token integration is at today? Like what's live, if anything? Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a live token integration. I think we were one of the first people to ship that, if not the first. Basically, we have a website where you could go to and you could send over Bump in exchange for a lifetime pass of Fistbump Pro. That was just me. I mean, I saw a ton of requests asking us to integrate it. And I was like, this is a great, easy way to knock it out and kind of show that we are dedicated to integrating this token. The next one will be Bump Rewards, which I've talked about already a bit and how that works. Bump Rewards we'll be bringing on users to this week. I'll share much more information about that soon on Twitter. And also, please join the Telegram if you're interested in being part of Bump Rewards. Where to go to access there first. Yeah, so that's the current integration plans. One, just kind of like trading Bump for Fistbump Pro, and then second, basically getting rewarded in Bump for being a champion of our products.
So Fistbump right now is primarily like a habit sharing app, right? Where you're taking photos, kind of like you're doing streaks almost, and you're sharing that. What is the kind of target audience for these, like this feature? Paint me a picture of the user that you anticipate using this app.
Sure. So when you hear habit tracking app with accountability, you think of like people's brains go from journaling habits to meditation to working out to running to lifting to waking up early. It's all over the place, right? So yes, I do see it being an app for all those people, but there's a lot of power to niching down, especially with the content that we'll be posting to market the app across TikTok and Instagram. So we're focusing it all right now on fitness and people interested in the fitness niche. That way, like when you're posting content to promote the app, the algorithm kind of learns about the content you're posting and realizes it's all fitness content and shows it to people interested in that, rather than it being like one TikTok about building a running habit, then another one about building a reading habit, and being all over the place. We've decided to niche down to the fitness category. And also, we're mostly focused on the US audience right now. Younger is better. Younger people have more friends, just how it goes. The optimal age I see for this right now is like around like 16, where you have like people that are like in high school on like sports teams doing practice for cross country, soccer, high school team they're on, to like people in their early 20s that are out of college. I mean, there's a massive kind of like trend right now with people running. Every one of my friends is running a marathon right now for some reason. So that's really what we're aiming for right now.
Nice. That makes sense. It seems like you have a lot of intuition for what goes viral and what does well, and like how to use social media. Where does that come from? How do you know like these things?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I've just always had like 5 Instagram accounts on my phone, at least, since I was in like middle school. I remember I like set up like a technology reviewing Instagram a long time ago. My first business ever was called Lax Madness, and it was a lacrosse mesh selling business, basically, where I would like just like wax mesh and sell it on like a big cartel website when I was 12. And I was like, already then I was like sending out samples to like different influencers who had like more followers than me. There's like accounts that had like 5,000 followers, so I just sent them out. So I've really just kind of been doing this forever. And it's kind of like followed like throughout everything I did. Like I used to do like the story post design and like for like A$AP Rocky and like Juice WRLD when they like would post the merchandise on their story. And then with Hyperripe, we had like a really massive TikTok and Instagram strategy there that we ran to get to, I think it has like millions of users now. Then again, I was super happy. Super Happy leaned a little bit more on paid ads, so a bit different than the organic strategy we're doing here. But yeah, just kind of just been doing this forever to market the products.
So you were working with A$AP Rocky's team to make those?
Yeah,
so they contracted you? How did that come about?
So it's a funny story. So basically in like high school, I had just learned like graphic design after like building all the apps and stuff. I was like, I bet I could like make a quick buck kind of doing some of this like design stuff. And I kind of like had an interest in like fashion, and like I was also like a huge sneaker reseller back then too. I reached out to like a bunch of artists, like DMing them like, hey, like I'll work for free, like I'm happy to do design work. I was like, if I have to build a portfolio to build anything here, I might as well be doing free projects for people that will look at my portfolio. Reached out to ASAP Rocky's tech guy. Turns out he was from like 20 minutes from me in Jersey. He's like, no way. Sent him my resume. He's like, all right, let's get to work. Threw me into Slack and like instantly was like doing websites for like Cactus Plant Flea Market, and a bunch of other like giant brands. There's like one project was like an ASAP Rocky rally race, which is like a collab with Mercedes-Benz. He did it a while ago and like designed like the character and like landing page for that. And it kind of spiraled from there. Like a year later, as I got introduced to Juice WRLD's team, who happened to kind of transition to running merchandise websites for like Trippie Redd, Lil Durk, Kid Laroi, and a ton of other artists. So kind of like spiraled from there. And then I kind of got more into the technical side and left all that to build AI products, which I just found more interesting and more impactful.
That's pretty sweet though. And did you get that first opportunity by just DMing the ASAP Rocky's tech guy?
Yeah, that's how it started.
That's awesome. It's good that you're not afraid to DM people like that and shoot your shot, because I guess you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I think when you are that young and you're just kind of building stuff, I feel you'd be sending a lot of cold DMs. It's just like nothing to lose. Even now, it's just like, why not try? Like, I think that people like too quickly jump to not do the easy things when building things these days, and just assume things are hard.
That's pretty much all the questions that I had. Miles, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about?
Just really want to talk about like kind of like bump rewards, kind of like, and like also like appreciation for like this community. I mean, just like Sabo from Aura, from Fitted, Bobby from Dupe, Yinka from Band have all been like super helpful, and like both before launching the token, just kind of talking through like kind of their experience, but also like after, just like have a tax question, shoot it over. They need an intro to an account, and I got them, and just like back and forth. It's just like awesome community to be a part of, and I really appreciate you for kind of like highlighting all these builders with this podcast. It's really been awesome.
Yeah, it's a really special community, and I'm proud to call myself a part of it. And I'm having a lot of fun. I've never had this much fun building anything before, so this is like a really exciting time for me. I don't know if you've had the similar experience where like once you launch the token, you feel like you were kicked into overdrive to build even faster and to ship harder. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my tweet, I think it was like a week ago or so, that like the social pressure put on you by launching a token on Believe is incredible. It's just like, if you, I mean, there's just nothing like it. It's just like constant like DMs and like tweets flooding at you, demanding you to build this product. It's just like, it's many people would take this in a bad way, but I love it. Like, I love the pressure. I think great products are made under pressure. It's incredible. I love the hate for that reason. There's definitely a lot of hate that goes on in crypto Twitter, and I love it.
I do too. It's one of the things that makes it unique. People are extremely brutally honest, and I love it. Miles, it was great to have you here. Thank you so much. Shout out Ben and the Believe team for making an awesome community. And shout out to you and all the other founders to make it what it is and come together. It's great to have you here, Miles.
Thanks.